Welcome, friends. My name is Chris, and this is the O2 Drop. Thank you for joining us. You're tuned into the world's best made-for-adult Pokémon VGC podcast, and I have an amazing episode for you today. I am joined by your boy, Dizzy B.
What? Hello. I'm glad this bit has been sticking around.
I'm not. I hate it. And people complain that they only listen when we get special guests or Alister Sandover on the podcast. So I've got both for today's episode. So please welcome local legend, 3-time Perth regional champion, and apparently an amazing amateur chef, Alister Sandover.
Thank you for having me again.
And look, he is one of the best Pokemon players in the world consistently. He is this season's Joinville regional champion and Brazilian superstar. Gabriel Agati is here.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Gabriel, for agreeing to come on the podcast. It's awesome for you to do this. As I said, yeah, we spoke to a lot of players at Melbourne who are like, oh yeah, we listen to the podcast, but we only like it when you get a big guest on. All right, all right. Let's do it. Let's get Agati on.
Well, you reached out to me, Chris, asking do I have any friends? And
do you have any friends?
Not many, but I happen to be friends with Gabriel, and I asked him, and he was cool enough to say yes. So thanks so much again for coming on, man. Really looking forward to it.
No, it's a pleasure. Thanks
Awesome.
for having me.
I must ask, how do you guys know each other? When did you and Alister meet, Gabriel?
I think we first met, it was in NPA from 2019, right, Alister?
I was thinking the same, actually. I think, which team was it? Was it Stephen Mee's team? Celestic Stars?
No, it was the Puppies, right? No. Yeah.
I didn't play on Puppies, but it was MPA though. And
maybe it was MPA 2020 then.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, we played together.
It was before the pandemic, for sure. It's been a while.
Have you two actually ever competed against each other in a competition? Actually played in a tournament?
We have had Worlds.
Yeah, actually, our match, round 2 match, day 2 Worlds in Yokohama got streamed. And also we played in Players Cup 1, remember, Agati?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. I remember we had this communication issue that was like a bug from the game. And yeah, you were very kind enough to give me the win because I was a bit ahead in the game. And it was very kind of weird.
Yeah, you were winning that game, almost for sure. So I was more than happy, just to take the loss and see how I do in the losers bracket in that one.
What are you talking about? A communication issue in a top-notch Pokemon game by Game Freak? They don't have communication
that would
issues.
Never
what
happen.
Are you talking about? No one disconnected at Melbourne Regionals this year at all. So, Gabriel, I'm going to ask you the easy questions first, all right? The real puff piece questions that we ask all our guests, all right? So first of all, how did you get into playing Pokemon? Like the very first Pokemon game you played?
The very first game I played was Pokémon Pearl. But the game was like in French, and I don't speak French at all, so I couldn't understand much of the game. I thought I had to play with all the 3 starters, so I chose Turtwig because it was the first one, you know.
It's a good choice. I mean, Torterra made day 2 at Bologna, I believe. So it's still relevant.
Yeah.
It's still relevant.
Good choice. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like I think Gen 4, maybe it's because when I started playing, but it has the best starter trio in my opinion. Like all the trees are so cool. And yeah, so this is how I came into like the Pokemon on Nintendo DS, but on VGC I would only get into by watching Worlds 14. I was in a Facebook group and people are like, oh, you know, there's this World Championships, you guys should watch. It was like the first time ever I entered on Twitch channel, I think.
Okay, so 2014, you with some friends and they told you to watch watch the tournament stream and you watched the Worlds and that's how you wanted to get into competitive Pokemon, or were you playing competitive Pokemon in the lead up to 2014 Worlds?
Oh yeah, right. I had a singles background, so I knew what EVs were, what IVs were, but I was super bad in the game. But yeah, it was pretty much how I came into VGC. I was like, oh wait, this is interesting. Double battles can be very interesting. And of course, this was the year that Batteries won Worlds, so everyone was like super excited about the game. And then we had 2015 just after, and it was a meta game that I really enjoyed playing. And yeah, I never really stopped playing after that.
I think 2017 you were top 4 at LAIC. But what was your so you started playing us at 2015. What was your first breakout performance? Which event did you do really well in first?
Yeah, so the first event that I ever played, the first major was the LAIC 2017, because we didn't have official tournaments back in Brazil in 2015 and 16, only locals. Yeah, so, just for you guys to know, the first Brazilian regional was after the pandemic, so it's very recent.
Yeah,
wow, that's crazy. How many people?
We had internets before.
Oh yeah. How many people were at the 2017 LAIC?
That's a good question. I think it was almost 200, I think, masters.
Oh, wow. Okay, so just a small regional event now in 2025 is bigger than Internats in 2017. That just shows you how big the game has gotten in the last 10 years or so. That's huge.
Yeah, it's super crazy. Yeah.
So your first ever event, you just rock up at to your first Internet and get top 4.
Yeah. It was, I think, so I was very young back then. I was 16 years old. So I had a lot of free time, and I remember practicing a lot for this tournament. Back in the day, I think the Brazilians were really bad, to be honest. We were all we didn't have much ways of getting into the scene, and we also didn't have much resources online, because nowadays it's really easy to get a very strong team because of rental teams of PokePaste and all this stuff. There's a lot of good content on YouTube or on Victory Road and all these sites. Back in the day, it was Nugget Bridge, and that was it. And a lot of Brazilians don't even speak English, so I think the average level in the whole world, but especially in Brazil, was very low back then. And to be honest, I think I got pretty lucky on my Swiss round pairings, because there were a lot of amazing top players from Europe and the US. But at the end of the day, I faced 7 Brazilians out of 8 rounds.
Oh, wow.
And I beat all of them. So this is how I top cut my first Internets, which looking back, I think it was, very, today would be a lot harder,
Yeah.
Well, Dan and I don't think have ever gone to Latin America to play an event, but Alister, have you competed in any Latin American tournaments?
Yeah, I've been to LAIC 19 or 18. It was Sun Series, and I bombed.
Would you agree with Agati when he says that Brazilian players aren't very good back then?
The thing is, I didn't actually play many Brazilian players when I went to LAIC.
You got all the Americans.
Yeah, all the Americans and Europeans that went there, so can't really say. But no, they're definitely much stronger now. And I still remember watching Agati play. I think that top 4 against William Tansley. Was that right?
He was top 8, yes.
Top 8, yeah. And it's the slowest game ever, but I was damn, this kid is just so good. He's playing Politoed, Bulu, P2, the bulkiest team you've ever seen, and just playing so solid, and that's never really changed.
Wow.
It's funny. So this is actually the longest game ever that was streamed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we had the sudden death was not sudden at all. It took more than 20 minutes. So the whole stream match had almost 1 hour and a half.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That is crazy.
The call out of Nugget Bridge is such a throwback
What a
as
throwback.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
like man, that was the resource back in the day.
Yeah. And it's a great point. Like, if you don't even speak English, well,
Yeah.
there's like no hope for you, right?
Yeah.
So,
Plus, if your game's in French, what are you gonna do? So,
I think you play in Italian now, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I have two games. Right? I have my Pokemon Violet is in English and my Pokemon Scarlet is in Italian. But I don't speak Italian. I was trying to learn, and then I kind of just gave up because, you know, I thought I was spending too much time on that. But I should come back because I have Italian citizenship, so I
Yeah.
think it's, you know, for my family, you know, I think I have to learn Italian.
I'd say them.
You already. I'm assuming you speak Portuguese, and you obviously speak English. Do you speak any other languages apart from those two?
Just Pokemon language.
Pokemon language. It's still more impressive. And Alister, you speak Japanese fluently.
Yeah, just
So-
Japanese and English.
Yeah. Well, you're both better than me. I only speak English because I'm,
yeah, mono.
privileged white person. Dan, are you just
Yeah, mono. Yeah.
mono? Not
Yeah.
even Italian, even though you're half Italian?
I know the swear words in Italian.
It's important.
Yeah, exactly. So I can talk to my family.
And talk shit on Showdown.
Exactly. That's all you need.
Agati, I want to ask you about another. Before I get into the tougher questions, last of the two easy questions. What is your favorite Pokemon overall? It doesn't have to be competitively, just your favorite overall Pokemon, and then I'll ask you what your favorite competitive Pokemon is.
Nice. I don't have like a favorite Pokemon, but my answer I think it is gonna be always Lucario because I used to play Super Smash Bros. Brawl a lot when I was younger, and I really enjoyed using Lucario. So it has to be Lucario, but unfortunately, it's pretty bad in competitive. So
Yeah.
my answer has to be either Xerneas or Tapu Koko, which were two Pokemon that I really enjoyed playing.
Two Pokemon that are not in this game currently.
I remember in every legendary
right.
format, you always used Xerneas, like back in the day. No question.
Yes. And if Xerneas was legal in this meta game, I think I would be using Xerneas as well. Because I was like, bro, I was thinking about it like yesterday. I was like, every special restrict wants to run Terra Fairy. And I was like, if we had Xerneas, things would be so much different.
Exactly, yeah.
Possibly not in a good way, but we would also have Eviltal. We would have Eviltal and Zygarde, so I would be okay with it because I've got my two of my favorites.
Okay.
With the Lucario, any preference? Do you like shiny Lucario or just regular?
I think Shiny is fine, but it's just a regular one.
Okay.
What about the Mega? Are you a fan of the Mega?
Oh, Mega is definitely Kangaskhan.
All right, fuck you, Mega Lucario.
Okay, I don't think I would have liked like that era of Agati's team, Xerneas and Mega Kang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of megas, because obviously we've got a new game coming out in, I believe it's confirmed for October, Legends ZA. I want to ask you, one of my questions was, if you could give a mega evolution to any Pokemon in the game, apart from Xerneas, I'm not letting you say Xerneas, which one would you want to have a mega?
I never thought about that, honestly. I think Mega Infernape.
Infernape.
I like that.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Because I think it's a really badass Pokemon, but it's bad. And
Yeah.
it can't evolve anymore. So they can give like a broken evolution like they did to King Gambit, right?
Yeah.
Sorry to be short.
Yeah. I mean, the Kanto starters all got megas,
Exactly.
right? So why can't
So
any
did
other
Hoenn,
starters?
yeah.
And Hoenn,
Yeah.
yeah. So why not?
But that means there'll be Mega Torterra, right? And it's already good enough
It's
to
already-
make day two. So
Oh, you're already making full on your day too, so could be going too far. We'll see.
Gabriel, you mentioned before that Brazil didn't have any regional events until after the pandemic. And I know that there's always like this online discourse on Twitter and amongst the communities about which region the Pokemon company seems to hate the most, or like, Oceania, and Latin America are the two regions that sort of say, oh, what about us? So I wanted to ask you like how you feel your region is sort of represented, the world's qualification system. For example, I know that this new like ACE trainer reward system they've got where everywhere in the world can get some promo card if they get 200 CP, apart from Latin America due to logistical issues. I know that there are a lot of countries in South America that don't get any regionals or any sanctioned events at all, as far as I'm aware. I just wanted your opinion from someone who, is a Brazilian player. Like, what is your thoughts on like the state of Pokemon in Latin America?
Right. So my first opinion is that because I live in São Paulo, which is Brazil's biggest city, and actually in a very good spot compared to other Latin places, even in Brazil, but especially outside of Brazil, because I think Brazil is lucky enough because today we have of course, Latin internets that is always in Brazil. And we also have 3 regionals being held in Brazil for this season. So compared to other countries, some of them don't even have locals. I think in a very good spot. But of course, if we compare to US or to Europe, they have a lot more regionals, a lot more resources. We have all this other fancy other stuffs that they have and we don't. But I mean, I try to not think much about that in the end of the day, and I think the the rough part, the bad part is we have a lot of talented players here in Brazil, in Latin, and we don't have much visibility. We don't have many opportunities to play. A lot of Brazilian players can't afford to travel to play. So even if they end up qualifying for Worlds, it's going to be a huge struggle to get a visa, to get the resources to go. And this is a bit sad for me because I think I have a lot of strong players that unfortunately don't have many opportunities and many visibility. So, for example, I also think that Brazil and Australia and other regions that are not like Europe, US, and Japan, we also have for example, very good team builders, but people just don't seem to pay much attention. And I think it happens a lot that a strong team pops off, and people will attribute the team to a European or an American builder, and the team has been a while. Like the team has been there for a while. It's just that the team did well at the American regional, and now people are paying attention to it.
Yeah, I think that happens. I mean, I see sometimes teams sort of pop off in China or other like smaller Asian countries outside of Japan, or even like in Australia, and then it doesn't really get picked up by mainstream YouTubers or whatever, and then it does well in like a European or an American event, and suddenly another team, and then suddenly the Americans or the Europeans, like some team building groups, taking credit for it. I'm like, hang on a minute, like I saw that team like a month ago,
Yeah, I mean, like Arabega's team, right? That technically won Worlds that Luca piloted. Like they were on that for weeks or months prior, but then the Italians won with it. It's like, hey, it's ours now. Like we made this. So
yeah, it happens. And so Latin America has 50 places for VGC Masters for Worlds. In Australia, we only get 20. In Oceania, I should say, we only get 20. And it's quite competitive. Dan, how did you go to get into the top 20?
I was 30th.
Yeah,
so close.
Yeah, so it is quite hard. Our local events, our cups and our challenges, and our 3 regionals that we get in our region. I'm getting no internets as well, so people do have to travel. It's cutthroat. People will gatekeep people out of getting into that top 20, or people will stack local cups and challenges to try and get their CP. So I just wanted to know how competitive is it for those 50 places in Latin America? Do you have Brazilian friends who are, they're finishing 50, 60 something, and they're just missing out on the cutoff, and they're trying to desperately travel to cups and get into that top 50? How competitive is it?
Yeah, this just happened actually. I have a lot of friends in the bubble. Some will make it, some will not. some already don't have a chance because they are already out, and it's really sad to see your friends getting so close and putting on so much effort for nothing. And I didn't know Australia was only 20 people. That's super brutal. What?
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I was lucky because I won the first regional, so it was never a pain for me to qualify. But I mean, it's brutal, right? And honestly, I think the way the system is right now, it's a bit fucked up because, for example, some of the Brazilians that are qualified only in the end of the season, and you couldn't know before the last regional, the last good finish that they would be qualifying. So because of that, they are trying to get a visa just now.
Oh,
wow.
And some of them some of them are having like issues with that. So it kind of sucks because even the qualified players, some will not be able to go, I think.
can't even go.
And that's bad for everyone, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's not much that can be done about that.
There was a little bit of discourse on Twitter the last couple of days, and the term wallet warriors gets thrown around a lot, where people are basically paying to go to as many distant events as possible to try and pay their way to get an invite to Worlds. I know that certain players got called out on Twitter. Poor Alessio, the 16-year-old, is he Italian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who went to both like South African special events.
He was finalist in both.
He was finalist in both. Was he the player that went undefeated in Swiss and then lost in the finals?
No.
He wasn't that person?
I don't think so.
But yeah, so people like that, and I know he went to Bologna as well and went like 1-4 drop or something like that.
My man.
But, he was getting called out for being a wallet warrior who wasn't particularly good, which I think is a bit unfair. It was his first season in Masters. He was a senior last year and, he's already, done pretty better than me in a lot of events. So
2-time finalist, like, come on.
2-time finalist, exactly, in the kitchen event in Johannesburg. But I just wanted to do you, as you do a lot of traveling yourself, but do you see any issue with people, these so-called wallet warriors, trying to travel around and sort of infiltrate other events and trying to get their invite to Worlds? Or do you think that's a lot of people are saying that's a fair system, that's playing within the rules of the game? This is the Pokemon company's fault for making it like people having to do this. So do you think it's fair game, people doing this, or do you think people should try and stay in their region? What are your thoughts?
So I think, the first thing is, my opinion on that is blame the system, not the player,
Yeah.
Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, I mean, because these people are doing nothing wrong, right? Like they just enjoy playing the game and they have the money and the time to travel. So I see no issue on doing that. And at the end of the day, we have for most countries and for the most part of the world, we have very competitive regionals and competitive internationals. So it happened a lot in the last Latin regionals that we had some American players going into. We had Riley Factura, for example. He went to a lot of specials and regionals in Latin. We also had players like Brady Smith and Stefan Mott. And I thought it was pretty cool, honestly, to have international players coming to Brazil and playing. And making the scene more competitive. But at the same time, I think it makes no sense that you go to a 10-person event and get a stupid amount of championship points. This makes no sense. So yeah, it's awkward the way it is right now. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would do the same. I would do the same if I could.
If I had
traveling the world to sounds super fun.
If I had the time and money, if I didn't have to work full time and I didn't have responsibilities and things to do,
I would.
If I was rich, I would totally do it.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about Riley Factura, Brady Smith, Stefan Mott, I think those sorts of players probably would qualify for Worlds anyway because they are Worlds caliber players. the thing, and I'll get Alister and Dan's opinion in a second as well. I agree with you. It's totally within the rules. People should be able to do it, and I'd probably do it too if I could. Maybe I'm just a bit jealous, but I think because of the system, like it's possible. What I don't like the idea of, and this may not happen at all, but it is possible that people who are these wallet warriors that do go to so many events, and maybe there's like a really, really good player who could actually win worlds. They're one of the best players in the world. Maybe they can't travel. Maybe they can only go 1 or 2 regionals in a year. Maybe they don't do enough to win. Maybe they get top 8 or something in that regional, but they don't get enough points in their region because someone who's able to go to all these events, and maybe these people that are going to these events only get like top 64 or something, but they get to go to like 6 regionals or 3 internats and 3 regionals, and they sort of gatekeep this really, really good player out of going to Worlds who should be at Worlds based on skill alone. Like that would be sad. I don't know if that actually does happen, and then mathematically it can happen, but yeah, I would be sad if someone who's legitimately should be at the World Championship couldn't go because they got 76th place in North America because someone was traveling to all these other events and just kind of doing mid performances, but managed to get enough CP. But that's just my thought. Alister, do you?
Yeah, I mean, it's already happening, right?
Yeah.
Probably ranked 20 to 30 something, including Dan, are missing out, right? Because, I guess the top end of Oceania, they're all good anyway, for the most part. But they went to more events, but they're good anyway. So there's a good chance they would have qualified regardless, even if they didn't go to extra internats or extra regionals or SPEs.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Agati said, don't hate the player, hate the system. There's nothing you can do about it. I think Agati, you've milked your fair share of travel awards, haven't you? So you've had it pretty good, being able to go to all the internets, haven't you?
Yeah, yes, I have been to a lot of internets. I'm going to NAIC as well.
Oh,
I think so far I have played, 14 internets, like something like that. It's a lot.
Damn.
the fun fact,
Even OCAC I played.
yeah, and I think you're the first person to top cut every international, and maybe the only person who ever will be, because there's no more Oceania, right?
We'll get it back one day.
I think I'm the only person.
Yeah.
Your record is just insane. So, I mean, obviously you're the 2025 Joinville regional champion. You also won the 2023 Natal regionals. I don't know where Natal is. Does someone want to? Natal? Where's Natal?
Brazil, right?
Natal.
Is that in Brazil?
Is northeast Brazil.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. Okay. And I mean, you've been top 64 at 2022 and 2023 Worlds, top 16 at 2019 Worlds, top 16 at LAISC 2019 and 2020 LAISC, top 4 at 27 LAISC, top 4 at the Guania Regionals in 2024, top 4 at 2023 London Open, top 2 at 2022 NAIC and 2023 EUIC. You were top 8 at 2019 OCIC and top 8 at 2024 Sao Paulo Regionals. Just to name a few.
Bro did his homework.
I did cherry pick a few results, but I mean that is just crazy. But my question from this is that you've been to Australia before on multiple occasions. Can you see yourself come to Australia again for a tournament? Will we see Agati at an Australian regionals in the future? Because we would love to have you. We want more international players to come to Australia because we want to build up our scene and people take more notice of our area. So what do you reckon?
Yeah, for sure. I want to go back to Australia one day. Australia, I really love the country. Like everything about the country, I thought was really amazing. The weather, the food, the people, and I also really enjoyed playing OCAC the 3 times I went to Australia. So
nice.
If I have the opportunity to come back, I'm definitely taking it. Especially if I have these skills to play Pokémon, because we are addicted. But yeah. We don't have internets anymore, right? So I would have to go to play regionals, I guess.
Yeah, if you did come here.
I hear Perth's pretty good.
Perth is the closest one to you geographically. I'm just saying.
Laughs.
Look, it's basically free, right? Like you can come over and get $6,000 for winning. Pay for your flights. I reckon it's free.
I think that was the cool thing about like Shohei and other Japanese players coming here and not winning, because we demonstrated that it's actually not
free.
that.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not free.
Oliver Eskelin came as well. Yeah.
Bingji.
Yeah.
I mean, they all did good, but they didn't win the whole thing. So yeah, just saying, Australia's not as free as people think.
If you were my opponent,
it's
then
the
it'd
same
be free.
in Brazil, because the Americans they often do well here, but I think they never. Yeah, in Brazil they never won.
They didn't win, right? Yeah, exactly.
The same in South Africa.
Riley was very close to Sao Paulo. He lost in finals.
Yeah,
a Brazilian player.
Yeah, that's right.
Agati, do you have a favorite event you've been to? Like, obviously you've won a few and like you've had some really good performances, but is there one that sticks out as like your favorite tournament experience?
For me, it was definitely UIC 2023.
I was going to say that as well.
Who did you lose to in the final?
Which is the one
Fulchua.
I lost to Pochua. I think it was my favorite tournament because I really enjoyed the metagame, and I think I had really good sets. I faced a lot of strong players, and I think I was also playing like super well. I think I was playing in my peak. So I up to these days, like when I try to remember that tournament, that I had a strong mentality, not a strong preparation, because my prep was actually not great to this tournament, but a strong team, a strong mentality, because I lost very quickly as well. I started 2-1, so it's really easy to lose campus and being nervous in the scenario where you can afford to lose a lot of games on an international stage. But I was able to remain very confident and calm the whole tournament. And I also had a really nice tax that completely changed my tournament run. So, for example, I had substitute on my Palafin. That was a move that the one was using, but it was very strong because Among Us was very strong. It was very strong in the mirror.
I miss Palafin.
Everyone remembers the crit pollen puff into your substitute, Palafin. I also remember you lost your wallet going into this tournament. Like, you came to the lobby and you're like, I don't have my wallet.
Yeah, I lost my wallet inside the airplane. Actually, someone stole it, probably. Yeah,
and then made finals.
It was not a great way to start, but I was very lucky to have great friends that helped me. I was lucky to find Juan Salerno just after this happened, and we split. He helped me with the bus fee. Sorry, not the bus, the subway fee, and helped me with that. And then later I had help from my friends that stayed with me as well. So yeah, very lucky that I had my friends, because otherwise it'd be a much worse thing to happen. Getting robbed just arriving in a new country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you went top 2 and got like 10 grand or something, probably.
Yeah.
So
at least know you were good for the money after that. So.
This was before they increased the prizes there, actually.
Yeah.
It's like $200.
It was before the increase.
Yeah, but
So it's funny because like if you put together all the top cuts that I have in internet, it doesn't reach the money of a second place right now.
Right now, yeah.
Damn.
It's sad.
Wow.
Yeah, it's honestly sad.
You mentioned that.
It's the opposite. It's super incredible that we are having this amount of money right now.
That's true. It's good now. Yeah, absolutely.
Optimistic viewpoint.
You said that the 2023 EUIC, you had terrible tournament prep going in. One of our subscribers, actually, we got our guests, we got our subscribers to give guest questions for you. One of them wanted to know about your tournament prep. Do you have like a sort of a standard sort of method of tournament prep that you use going into each event? Like, do you have like, what's your prep for NISC coming up? Like, what is your usual routine?
So, just to be clear, when I say my prep was bad, I think it was not because my preparation was bad. It was because I barely prepared. So what happened for this tournament specifically is I think was it called? I think it was Hack D or Hack C. I don't know.
Rig C.
But it was like Hack C. Okay, so I didn't play much of Hack C, but I had played a lot of Hack B, and these were very similar. So even though I didn't have much Hack C preparation because I was busy with college, I had a good preparation from Hack B. So considering the fact that I didn't practice much, I think my preparation was very smart, considering the lack of time. So I was able to build a very strong team. But sorry, I actually forgot what was the question.
Just your tournament prep routine.
What do you normally do, like, to prepare for a tournament?
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I'm always trying new approaches. But so, for example, I used to be like the leather hero guy that would just spend leather games. I was that guy.
Yep, we've played a lot.
Yeah. But right now, since I have full-time work and I'm older now. It's been 10 years since I started playing, and I have more responsibilities and less time to play. I try to be very objective on what I want on my team and what I think is like fundamentally strong. And it's really hard because sometimes you kind of like you have this mentality of I want to break the meta game. I want to have a team that has good matchup against everything that is being used. And sometimes I approach more with the mentality of like I just want like a neutral matchup against everything. I just want a team that can play against everything, and I'll try to outplay my opponent. And I think it's hard to say what is the best approach. I think it depends of the meta game, depends of the current state of the meta game as well, and also depends of what you want to accomplish for the tournament. For me personally, I always try to win, but I never win. So I'm probably the worst person to give advice. But, I try my play style is to try to build a very solid teams with that is able to make defensive switches and all this stuff, but that can also apply a lot of pressure, like immediate offensive pressure, and have fast, strong Pokemon as well. So this is how I like to approach.
Yeah, it's always been like that for pretty much every team I've seen you build. I remember the Players Cup 1 team you built and you lent me. It had defense, but also had the offense from Dragapult. And that's pretty much always carried through. And I think it's a really solid way to approach the game in general, almost no matter what format you play.
It's very consistent. You said, the 2017 team of the Fat Politoed, the Muck, the P2, like everything's always there, bulky and ready for a switch.
Yeah, so this 2017 team was just a version of Wolf's team that he used at the UIC. So he had Magnezone, I had Arcanine over Magnezone, but everything else was like the same Pokemon. I also have very different sets actually. So for example, his Salamence was special, mine was physical. But we also had a lot of things in common, like the Perish Song on Politoed to close end games. I think we both had Lead Seed on Tapu Bull as well.
Yeah.
But this team, I think it was bad. I wouldn't use it again. I think if I were to play 17 again, and I'd love to do that because I love this meta game. I think my playstyle would change a lot to more like Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, or maybe Mimilex as strategies, and probably less Tapu Bulu.
If we're going to bring up older teams of yours, I need to ask you about your 2020 OCIC team because I saw it, I was like, what was he thinking? So your team was Arcanine, Meowstic, Togekiss, Jellicent, Conkeldurr, and Duraludon. And like, it's hard for my 2025 brain and all the power creep and all the new Pokemon we've got in Scarlet Violet and Sword and Shield and stuff. What was this team? Like, what did it do?
Okay, so this team is also bad. But like, so I remember that going to OCIC, my first impression was that I wanted to use Tyranitar Excadrill, which was very standard back then. But I had like one real small cool change from the team that I had Hitmontop and I had weakness policy Togekiss so I would self bullet punch and practice my weakness policy. It was really cool, and we played close team shit back in the day as well.
Yep.
So it was stronger than it looks. Not now saying
Not
this.
now, yeah.
But I didn't like very much opposing Saint teams. So I kind of gave up last second of the team. My friend James Beck ended up using this team, and he finished X3. But he thought the team was really strong. Like we built the team together. He thought the team was really strong. It was just that he got unlucky, and I changed it last second and ended up making day 2, so it kind of worked. But the team was bad because, ironically, I figured in the tournament that my Saint matchup was like super bad. I think I went like 9-5 or something, and I think all my losses or almost every loss was to. Oh yeah, I lost like I think out of my 5 losses, 4 were to Tyranitar Excavator. So at the end of the day,
everyone in that came from Japan brought it.
Team because of, yes, and I lost to our average Japanese.
You mentioned that
I lost to Yuya both on day 1 and day 2, and day 2 was streamed as well.
Yeah,
like he completely reads me one turn on stream. Like I was in a good spot, and I could just attack, and I was like, no way. He thinks that like I'm not gonna attack here. So I protect and switch out, and like somehow Yuya predicts that and goes for Thunderbolting to the Togekiss switch. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yuya's crazy.
Yuya is crazy. Yeah, Yuya is crazy.
You said that back then they didn't have open team sheets. Obviously, that's a new thing. So, but I just looking at your results, you've been for the grand challenges and the global challenges, you've been in the top 4 twice, and you came second as well in one of them as well. So my question is, are you good at building those closed team sheets, best of 1 cheese strats, like the real meme strats that catch people by surprise? Or are you just really good at reading other people's meme strats and best of 1?
I think both. I think because, for example, I have done well in global challenge a lot, and I have won once with like the most standard and boring team, like my UIC team.
Reg C, yeah.
I just changed it I just changed it one move that I replaced protect for Arcanine. I used extreme speed instead, which is a standard move anyway, so like something that everyone expects. So I did well at GCs with very standard teams, but I also did well with some crazy best of 1 tags like Life Orb Mimikyu in 2022 double restricted format, and like Shadow Sneak would just like pick up KOs in Kali Shadow and no one would expect.
Yeah.
And recently I got top 8 at 1 GC by using Terra Normal Iron Threats, which is a terrible color Rec Shadow answer, but it works out in close team shoot because everyone just will pick Astral Barrage in front of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like at the end of the day, it's less about what you use and more about like what you face, and you have to always be prepared about the craziest set. And I think this is the most fun and hardest part of best of 1 close team shit.
Yeah.
Personally, I think there's like a massive amount of skill playing best of 1 close team shit. I think it's much harder to play best of 1 close team shit than best of 3 open team shit, obviously. But if it's like it's what we say, right? Like if best of 3 open team shit, it's easier for everyone, then it's not actually easier. Like because everyone has this resources. So it ends up being even harder sometimes, right? I like both formats, so I'm really glad we have GCs, but I'm also really glad that in real life tournaments are best of 3 open team shit, because it's just a better, more healthy environment in my opinion.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think it's nice, actually kind of nice the GCs are worth so much, because it gets a bad rap, best of 1 close team shoot, but actually requires a lot more skill than people think, like you said. So I definitely agree with you there.
I have maybe an unpopular opinion, but I think GCs are much harder than regionals, for example. So if you have won a GC, I think this is more impressive.
Yeah.
I think winning a GC is more impressive than winning a regional.
Damn, Joji's just the goat then.
Joji's so good.
Who
Yeah, that's
also
actually
came to
crazy.
Australia. I've got a question from subscriber Scott. He wants to know what your favorite generation gimmick is and why. So generation gimmick would be like triple battles, the gems, the Z moves, megas, terrestrializing, and what have I missed? Dynamaxing. So what's your favorite of those gimmicks? And if you had to like put two of them together for the next generation game, what would they be?
Oh, my favorite gimmick is definitely the megas. I think like everyone.
Yeah,
same.
will say that. It's the cooler concept, like design wise, and it's also the cooler concept, competitive wise. I think. Obviously, they kind of. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed like Mega King for example, because like this was like super broken at the start. But I think like Megas after the nerfs, like in Sun and Moon, were like peak mechanic. And the worst is by far Dynamax for me. Like Dynamax was completely garbage.
Same. Same.
I think if I had to I would do megas, and I actually really like Terra.
Yeah.
I think it's because it makes a lot of Pokemon playable. I think I would like megas and Terra if they had to combine two.
That's what they're going to do in Champions, isn't it?
Oh, but also bring back triple battles. I love those as well. Or rotation battles.
What was the that meme going on Twitter?
Those were fun.
Yeah.
They were fun. Was it Mega Ray Quasar with Delta Stream? If it's Terra flying, it doesn't have a weakness.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Just bring your Mega Ray counters. I don't know.
Oh, and multiply Dragon Ascent.
Yeah, just like all those multipliers. Like,
Look, skill issue. It's all right. I'm sure that there'll be Gen 10 power creep. There'll be something that just hard walls it. Don't worry.
yeah, they'll be like what the origin forms of Xerneas or something. So
Can you just like, I don't know, focus sash stack attacker gyro balls into its face in Trick Room?
Air Balloon, Terra Electric Shedinja.
Okay, well, now you're just being silly. So are we all unanimously saying that Megas is the best? Does anyone disagree with that?
No.
No, I think it was resounding.
And there you go, Scott. You got your answer. So if you wanted to combine two Agati, was it Megas and what was the second one you'd combine with it?
I'm not sure. Because I like the Z moves, but they were too OP, I think. Like, if they reduce the base power of Z moves, then it's perfect, I think. I think Terra is fine, but I prefer the game without it. So I can defend it.
I like the Z moves.
But I don't think Terra are like, because like the Z moves at least take an item slot. So you know what's good. Like Z moves in an open team sheet format, I think it's very healthy. Like in closed team sheet, it's super messed up. But in OTS, I think makes more sense.
I like the Z moves though for like the Z conversion, Z splash, Z.
The little dances was worth it.
But like just the random moves that just get like
dancing
OP.
Yeah.
Twinkle Tackle.
Yeah. Sure. I love Twinkle Tackle. That's exactly right.
Well, they did have Megas and Z crystals in the same format. That was a thing.
They did.
Yeah.
That was the regional I top aided.
Oh,
2018 and Ultra Series.
Yeah.
I think we look back fondly on Z moves, like not because Z move was like balanced or anything. It was pretty bullshit. But those are like Gen 7 was just some peak VGC
Good game.
formats, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think I have PTSD from what Shattered Psych, Lele in Terrain. My goodness.
Yeah, but we also got Ultra Beast that gen.
Light that burns the sky.
Yeah,
It's the strongest move ever.
It was so I miss like those boss monster like Ultra Necrozma type things, and then they did it with Eternatus.
Yeah.
But I just love those big boss Pokemon. I like it. I'm a
Big
fan.
boss energy. That's fair.
That's why I love like complete form Zygarde, like just skinny boss Zygarde. This is a weird question, Agati. I apologize in advance, but I'm giving the people what they want. This question is from Nick. Brace yourself. I did say this was adults only. If you could eat a Pokemon, which Pokemon would it be and how would you like it prepared?
Oh my god.
There's a lot of Pokemon that are food.
I remember someone was asking this. Yeah, someone was asking this at one tournament, and everyone was answering Tatsugiri. So, I mean, this is a good option, but it's also boring, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so what's your answer then?
I can't give any other. I guess I would eat Ho-Oh because I like chicken.
Like a turkey?
Big
Yeah,
chicken,
big
yeah.
turkey.
Big chicken.
I like that.
Like it's got what's that item that it used to hold that it like came back to life? Because it's a phoenix, right?
Sacred
so,
ash.
Sacred ash. So like if you eat the ho-oh, does it just like come back to life?
In your stomach.
Yeah, the sacred ash. Because it's a phoenix. So if you cook it,
Okay,
it just like
I didn't think about it. Yeah, so that's probably not a good call.
It's infinite food glitch. You figured it out.
I figured it out. That's how we solve world hunger.
Yeah.
Okay, so question for me, favorite regulations. We're up to I. So series 1, series 2, C, D, E, F, G, H, G, I. Do you have a favorite regulation?
I think A. I think A was great. It really sucks that we didn't have the opportunity to play tournaments.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
regulation. But at the same time, I think like B and C were also really good. And after that, it was just like shit festival. And now we're in a regulation that I actually I know. I think a lot of people don't like this regulation, but I think this regulation is really good.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it as well.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm enjoying it more than G.
Better than G.
Maybe the third time G comes around, I might warm up to a bit more. But
It was bad.
Yeah.
You have a question about EUIC, Dan, that you want to ask?
no, I have a question about Bologna.
Oh, Bologna.
Really? Yeah. We've heard the meme all over Agati, you know, the EU can't build, NA can't play. And I think it was further solidified over the weekend where everyone was running Calyrex Shadow and Zamazenta at Bologna, and even the Wheezing team's all pretty much the same as well. Where do you sit on this? Do you think it's funny? Do you think it's just banter? Or do you think it has some concrete, I guess, truth to it?
Man, I think like in general, Europe is always using like very standard teams, right? But obviously, I do think that in general, I think Europe is stronger than the US.
Hot take, write it down.
It's hard to say because the best American players are like insane at the game, and obviously, they also have probably the best player, which is Wolfie. But I think like I have played multiple Europeans and multiple Americans. And I can say that I think the average European like it is so strong. Like
Yeah.
like maybe it was like, you know, my amount is sorry. I don't have, you know, played that much to say for sure, but from my perspective, and I have played like NAIC 4 times. Sorry, UIC 4 times, and NAIC I'll be playing the 4th time. So if I do poorly in NAIC, forget everything that I say.
Are you a bit biased though, because you said you're an Italian citizen? So maybe are you a little bit European biased?
He's like, yeah, we're the best.
But my counterpoint to that would be, you said that everyone in Bologna ran Scooby-Doo, as we call it, as Calyrex Shadow Rider and Zamazenta, or Shadow Wider, as is another
That's
name that's catching on. But the thing is, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Like, if that's a good team and it's the best team that's doing well in Europe, I mean, why do they need to build a better team if that's the team that's doing good? You know what I mean? Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's my...
Well, I feel like sometimes you try to build other things and it doesn't work.
This is our Worlds format.
Yeah.
Yeah, like especially because it's the Worlds format as well. So there is also this possibility that people are just like, you know, hiding the secret tags for Worlds. Right?
Yeah.
Because, for example, for NAC, I don't know what I'll be playing. I probably should have decided already, but I didn't.
Next week.
But I know that I'll be using like, I'll be using some boring stuff. Like I'll be using like a Southwest Incineroar and Calyrex Shadow for sure. Like I don't know what else I'm bringing, but I'm bringing this because it's gonna work. You know, it's good enough to win. And for Worlds, then we think after NAC what do we do?
Speaking of Bologna, so
yes.
I did see, we were talking about before about the software communication issues. There was a disconnect
on the
top 8 stream.
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
I know.
My question for you, Agati, is like, have you ever had a high profile game like on stream or something like that where you've had a disconnect or a communication issue that's like cost you a significant game?
Yes, yes. Not on stream, but this happened to me at Worlds Yokohama. This happened on my game against Kamikaze from Germany.
Oh,
So
yeah.
game one, I lead with like Shiro and Iron Hands, and he leads with Odango and Green Snow, and I'm very confused because that's a terrible lead against my team. And then the game DCs, and then we replay. This was like game one, turn one. So we replay the set. It's a 3-game set. He never brings Kodango, never brings Green Snow. And I lost 2-1. It was super frustrating.
That's frustrating.
I was not like to be clear. Like I'm not like blaming my opponent. He was like he did nothing wrong. He did nothing against the rules. It was not his fault. And he was super kind to me, and I have nothing to say about my opponent, but it really sucks because we're playing Worlds, right? And having such a thing that completely it changes how the game, like the whole best of 3 is played. I think it really sucks. And like we both were doing well. I think we were both like at the time, like I don't know, we were positive we were still in. I think we were like 2-0 or something. So this kind of things can really impact like a tournament run and everyone's experience. And I also had like so many friends that happened like worse game state scenarios or worse disconnections. Yeah, it really sucks. I hate this game, man. I hate this game. I think I shouldn't listen to that.
You tilt. Like
I hate these games.
It affects you. It does affect your like mental health on the day. Like
it ruins the momentum 100%.
Yeah, you get in your head and that game was mine, and then you sort of it's unfair and I should have won that, and it does carry on. Another thing that came up at Bologna, which I thought was funny. So the final was a Calyrex Shadow Rider, Zamazenta Mirror, and the person on stream chose no music.
Yes.
So there was no music.
Psychopath.
So my question to all three of you, I play this game with no music on. I don't have any headphones and I don't have any sound on, and I just lock in on the game. I don't need the music. That's just me. Maybe because I'm like one of the few autistic Pokemon players. I don't know. But you three, do you want the music on? Do you have headphones in? Are you listening to the music, or have you got the sound turned off?
I'll let Agati answer first as our esteemed guest.
Agati, you go first.
Recently, I've been listening to the AI Professor team music that I think it's the best one from this game. I don't have the DLC, so I know there's a lot of good music in the DLC, but I don't have it.
AI Professor. I'll have to check that one out. Because for me, I always listen to Team Star Grunt theme. And part of the reason is when I play GCs, I have to play on another account. And I've only gotten up to like where you get the Terra Orb.
Yeah.
So I don't have like any music unlocked. And it just sort of grounds me having the same music play any match I play. And I think it goes hard.
I think the grounding one's a solid argument. I know everyone in Perth, if all our subscribers in Perth love Cassiopeia.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
I like the Titan one.
Yeah.
That's my go-to at the moment. I always have the Titan one. If I have music, which is like never, but I like the Titan one.
I mean, I like regionals and stuff. I've been putting headphones in and putting Cassiopeia on. And then I started making those dumb meme montages for GCs. And Alister was the only one who caught up on it. I was doing no background music so I could put a funny overlay track. And I actually felt like I played worse because I had no music.
All right.
There you go.
Now you go.
Science. Yeah.
He's done a clinical study and you found that music helps you win.
Apparently.
That's why I never win.
You need headphones. There you go.
Oh, all right. I'll have headphones next tournament.
Speaking of funny stream stuff, do you remember when I think it was Justin Tang was on stream and he couldn't Terra because the Switch profile wasn't up to it in the story?
It's just so embarrassing for the Pokemon company, honestly.
This reminded me when Alister said, yes, when you get it and you get the Team Grunt music. It's like, Justin Tang couldn't Terra.
Oh my God. Do you have time to talk about Bologna, Agati? Did you watch any of the stream? Did you have any friends that were competing there?
I barely watched the stream. I still need to watch both Bologna and the Portland regional because I watched it like 1 or 2 games only.
Fair.
But I saw the results, and yeah, it was just like Ali Shadow Zamazenta, which is I think he really is the team to beat right now, and it's gonna be like one of the teams to beat for NAC and for Worlds. It's just broken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think like the annoying part is Mihor. Mihor just sucks.
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad.
I wish the Mihor was like a bit more fun to play. Because I don't want to play Kali Shadow Zamazenta, not because I don't think it's good. It's just because I think the Mihor is horrible.
Mirror is lame. Yeah.
Speed ties.
Well, the problem
Wide guard?
the problem is the fact that Kelly Shadow OKOs itself easily with a spread move. Like Incineroar mirrors, Landorus mirrors, we never cared, right? Because like they can't really do anything to each other at least. But when the Pokemon can kill itself, that's when it becomes a problem.
I agree.
It looks like the
we have Terra to cover for that. But like if you Terra, you get hit by body press.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the restricted usage. It looks like Agati's favorite Pokemon to eat, Ho-Oh, has dropped off significantly because, like, in Melbourne, which was only 3 weeks ago now, or 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. It feels like yesterday, but Ho-Oh was they were everywhere. They were ruining me all day, and then I'm thinking like Portland and now Bologna, the Ho-Oh, the Thunderbirds hype.
What did you even see? Yeah, what? I think Portland it was Portland, the one before Bologna. Like Lunala dropped off the top 8 or something.
It's back now. It's back on. It's 4th in usage at 21%, and then day 2 22.9. Yeah, so Lunala's back. It was never going to go anywhere. Like Lunala's just so good. All those like any sort of ghost fighting core.
Yeah,
with like Koraidon or like the Calyrex Shadow Rider plus Zamazenta, any of those fighting ghost cores. Just on paper are just so good.
I think the most interesting core I saw was the one Marco Fiera was running with the Electric Seed Terapagos next to Miraidon.
I still think Terapagos is a fraud. I'm sorry.
Sichio got top 8.
Yeah.
Interesting take on Terapagos. They did it again. Like I think they were the ones that came up with the Cornerstone Screamtail Heatran version in Reg G, and they've evolved again.
Yeah,
so it's interesting to see.
Because Marco's version had the Screamtail on it as well. So
yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, Ho is like if you see the whole matchups is so good against the physical restricted Pokemon. At least on paper, and it's also good like into Kali Shadow Zamazenta, which is probably the most popular team right now. I tested myself Ho, and I think it's really good on what it's supposed to do, but it's just so hard to beat Miraidon and so hard to beat Kyogre. And I think you really don't want your restricted to be like naturally super bad against these two.
Yeah,
I think if someone fixes that and is able to make like a stronghold team that beats like those Kyogre, Kali Ice teams and Miraidon teams in general, I think it could have a lot of potential. But unfortunately, I think Miraidon is just too busted to ignore.
Yeah.
And for Terapagos specifically, I was a Terapagos hater last regulation. I thought.
Me too.
I thought do you really want to click protect Calmine like every game and like no this is not a real team. And then the Screamtail version I think was stronger, but I still didn't convince me because Terapagos it dies to close combat from Urshifu and everyone uses Urshifu.
Yeah.
But now that we have double restricted Pokemon and we can afford, I think we can afford a restricted that is weak to Urshifu. And also Terapagos is good against Kali Shadow, which is if not the most common, the second most common Pokemon. So I think Terapagos is actually in a much better position right now compared to previous regulation. I consider using Terapagos myself. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think it's much stronger right now.
I've never used it. Every time I play against a Terapagos, 99% of the time I feel like it just doesn't do enough damage against me. Like it does, it does a Terra Starstorm, and it just does like 30% to my Pokemon. And I'm like, it just doesn't feel. Maybe that was mostly probably in Reg G, I guess, but I just don't get it.
think
You have to invest so much effort into setting it up.
Yeah, it's exhausting to play. It's exhausting to play against.
You have to tear it, basically. There are some cool combos you can do with getting rid of the weather and terrain, but it's not for me. I don't know. I think it's a fraud. I want to ask you quickly before I forget to. You're going to Worlds this year, obviously. And you're a friend of the show now, so we'll definitely be rooting for you. We do a Worlds draft. I think actually, didn't you? Was it you or Mark that drafted Agati last year?
Yeah, I drafted Agati last year.
And how did that go?
I think you went X3, didn't you?
I started 5-0 and I lost 3-0. It was very frustrating.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah, you did it just to upset Dan. We know. Fair. I want to know if you can't. Let's just say that you can't win Worlds, right? If you could. What's your pick to win Worlds? If it's not you, who do you think? You've played against all the world's top players. You've been to so many tournaments in recent years and met them all. Like, who do you think's got what it takes to win Worlds this year?
And why is it Alister Sandover?
I think it's hard to say because I think there are more players that deserve and can win Worlds than have Worlds.
Yeah.
Who's your gut feeling? Come on.
Personally, I would love to see. I would love to see a friend winning. So I would love to see Alister winning.
We all would.
Yeah, Brazilian winning.
My Worlds record is not great, so we will see.
I don't know. Can we handle?
No, but I think the thing is, Alister. I think at Worlds, if you just have to get the right team. If you get the right team and you have a lucky run, I think you can go very far, regardless of who you are. Because if you're at Worlds, I'm assuming you're good, you know how to play. You know how to play, right?
Yeah.
So if you get the right meta call, even if you historically don't do well, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Obviously, the way Insane makes think that there's no skill involved. It's just just get the right team. It's not what I want to say.
Yeah.
It's just that everyone is so good at Worlds. Yeah. Right. If you're at Worlds, you're good. So I think the team choice is what changes most from people to people.
Yes.
And for example, I think if we were playing last Worlds, if we were playing 100 times, each time you'll be a different world champion. And your idol is always doing well.
Yeah.
So yeah, just make sure that you get the right team and play well, and we'll be seeing world champion Alister soon.
You're getting coached by a guy live here on the podcast.
Well, yeah, I agree. Not to take anything away from Luca, but he just had the best team, great run, and played really well. And that, it could happen to a good number of other people. Like Agati said, if you're at Worlds, especially this year, you're good because you finished in that top 75 or wherever you're from. Yeah. So yeah, that's really what it comes down to.
If you did win Worlds, though, Alister, what would happen to your ego? Would it go to your head? I'm just worried about what would happen to Alister, my beloved Alister. He comes back from Anaheim, world champion, prestige. Best friends with Wolf Glick now, my mortal enemy. He's gonna be dripped in bling on the streets.
Honestly, I would consider retiring. If I won Worlds, yeah.
Would you play local? What about locals?
I'd play a local every now and then, but not
that's the world champion, Alister.
Yeah.
Friend of the show.
Because I don't know, it's. I'm getting older. I'm not as old as you, Chris. But like Agati said, we have less and less time. And the thing with Worlds is, especially when you're from Australia, it's one shot every year. And if it's in America, it's 25-hour journey, a lot of money, a lot of time, the whole season dedicated to it. And it's just if you bomb, it's damn, I got to wait another year for this chance. I've been 5 times now, and I've never top cut or anything. So.
Is it like a party though? Do you go there for a bit of a holiday? Do you go to the amusement parks in California? Do you go to have drinks after the event? Go to the beach, whatever? Is it a holiday, or is it literally just a sweat fest the entire time?
We hang out. Obviously, everyone like goes out for a drink and good time, but we don't care about like California or anything. We want to do well at Worlds.
Yeah.
Like, that's the main reason we're there. I think that's probably the same for you as well, Gabriel, right?
Yes, yeah. We do hang out. We do have fun. We do obviously make tourist things. But at the end of the day, the main focus, at least for me personally, has always been like the World Championship when I'm there.
Yeah.
I've never been to California before. I'm excited to go, but the main focus will always be the World Championship. Especially like Alister said, like we spend a lot of hours to travel, and there's just like one chance for a year, and it's the most important tournament of the year. And you know, we are addicted players that play the whole season for this moment. So
Yeah.
so once we are there, I think like our head is just Pokemon.
Yeah.
See, this is, you guys are tugging my heartstrings now because I was thinking about retiring after this season. I haven't told anybody this yet.
He's announcing it right now.
Just dropping it now because I'm just like, I've got to the stage now in my life where I'm so busy and my weekends fill up so quickly. I don't think I can devote the time and practice and hours and in like skill building that I need to be able to actually win a regional or get to Worlds. It was like, so I'll just step away and just have it as like a hobby occasionally, keep doing the podcast. But like, because it's just such a time demanding activity, even just grinding and building teams in game, like all the resources and stuff like that, or just like watching all the streams and like, you know, just studying the game. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
But I don't want to win. I'm not going to win Worlds. All right. I don't have, I'm not, absolutely
this
got
year.
no delusions.
Next year,
whatsoever.
maybe.
No grandiose delusions. However, I'd love to go to Worlds, not as a spectator, not in TCG, not as like, you know, someone as a parent or something like that. I want to go and actually compete and just be part of that whole spectacle and experience. And I want to go to the after party and I want to.
Bro, I tried.
Yeah. And I'm like stubborn. Like I don't want to retire until I at least get to go to a Worlds. But they need to bring back the CP bar because I reckon that's my only shot.
At least top 30, I reckon.
I think they might next year.
You reckon?
Given the backlash that the current system has gotten, like I think there's a chance they bring it back. And if they don't, like I actually have thoughts about like what I want to do because it is a lot. Like it's a big commitment to get a Worlds invite.
It's exhausting. Now. And like the money to travel to region, because Agati in Australia, and it's probably the same in Brazil is huge. And Brazil's fucking huge as well.
Brazilian people have less money to begin with.
Exactly. Yeah. But like, I mean, just to fly to Perth so we went Melbourne regionals was a couple of weeks ago, flying Perth to Melbourne, you're looking at like, you know, maybe like potentially like $800 in airfares and then like another $500 in accommodation. Then
that's
there's the
$500 US for around that for conversion.
Yeah. And then that's, you know, and then there's the registration tournament costs and in the food that you're buying at the venue. So, you know, it's kind of cost you like $15 for like a sausage roll or something stupid like that, you know, and like it just adds up. So like, this is not something you can just afford. And I'm not, you know, the travel awards, like some people in this conversation. So yeah, it is hard. But
you can't retire, Chris. You can't let the new gens win.
The new gens.
Yeah.
We'll
I think if they bring back the CP bar, like you'll still play, and you just won't need to play as much, right? Like, just way less locals. Maybe one regional is enough if it's like 300 CP, and I think that's
maybe I have to get
reasonable.
some coaching. I have to reach out.
I charge 40 an hour, so let me know.
Robert Chen is
I am officially in the Tang Gang after I inducted myself and we had a chat to Justin earlier in the year. So maybe I'll reach out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look,
what are we
Tang
running?
Gang team, buddy? Or what are we bringing?
Well, he does coaching, so you probably have to
Pay him.
You'll have to pay up.
We'll see. Let's quick back to Bologna. So we should probably say who won.
Yes, Matteo Vallata won.
And there was nothing spicy in the team whatsoever worth mentioning.
The final mirror was all the mons, 5 of the mons were the same. The difference was Incineroar versus Rillaboom. And the casting was pretty good for what would have been a stale, no background music match. They did the homework of there was 11 changes only across all 6 mons, including the Rillaboom / Incineroar. So it was like Draco Meteor versus like a Dragon Pulse and stuff like that. So 5 of the mons still the same, but yeah.
And what about anything spicy in the top 8?
Well, I just want to say, as someone that built and researched CSR Zama a lot for Melbourne, like these small changes
they
might
do
seem
so much,
like insignificant, but they're actually really interesting
exactly.
to me. Yeah. And
like what Encore versus Nasty Plot, for example.
Huge change, like completely changes matchups, like just with one move, right? Terra type, like the 6 Pokemon. There's so much to it, and I think we're still like people are still like trying to find like what is quote unquote optimal, or just the 6 and sets that they personally prefer.
Yeah, while it is the same team and it's a mirror, like all those little changes add up to it's pretty much a different team because it pilots completely different.
Yeah, I think there's some ridiculous stat where like the Pokemon combinations, like it's like there's like it's more like Pokemon possible combinations than atoms in the universe, or something ridiculous like that, or something like that, or like atoms on the Earth or something like that. Some ridiculous stat. Top 4 Clefairy is really cool to see. That was from Lorenzo. I'm not going to pronounce his surname, so I'll butcher it.
I think it's Law95 BGC is like his handle. He's really good.
But I just like seeing Clefairy back again. I mean, I'm not saying I like going up against Clefairy. It's really annoying to play against, but it's cool seeing something like that's not just like a Rillaboom, Urshifu, Incineroar, Raging Bolt kind of
different follow me user.
Yeah. And then we had Sinistra finished 6th with Francesco. He also ran Iron Valley and Iron Treads. I do not get the Iron Treads hype. I know people have brought Iron Treads to a lot of different events, and like it's meant to be like a Miraidon counter, and I know it's got Steamroller and all this.
Gabriel was one of the first people to use Iron Treads, actually.
Gabriel, sell it to me. What is the go with Iron Treads?
I think the answer is very straightforward. So Iron Treads is the best non-restricted Pokemon against Miraidon. That's it. Like, Miraidon is broken. You need Miraidon answers. Treads is gonna do the job because Treads damages Miraidon both before and after the Terra, and Treads can take a Draco Meteor from Miraidon, a Dazzling, and obviously an electric type move.
Yeah.
Was it banded? Isn't that
this one was Life Orb on this team?
Gabriel always ran Choice Band. I think a lot of people copied that later on, but some people ran Life Orb also.
All right, maybe I should have done my research and not bagged out Iron Treads to the guy who basically invented it. Okay, good.
Mr. Treads
Mr. Treads.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure.
Go ahead, Alister.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure. You quote unquote invented. Like, I never really saw anyone use Iron Treads before you. You brought it to Worlds in Hawaii.
Yeah, Hirofumi used Iron Treads at Japan, I think. He didn't do like super well.
Yeah,
and I don't know his set. I think it was like 4 or something like that. But for at least like from the best of 3 open team shit environment, I don't think anyone used before.
Yeah,
it's funny because like I didn't do well at Worlds, but Dylan still thought the team was cool and managed to get second place. I think like not even myself, I think, believed too much on the team anymore at that point because I didn't use Treads in AAC. I did use Miraidon, but without Treads. So I was glad to see that someone believed in the team. And for me personally, it was also meaningful because going into Worlds, I was like very confident. I think I had a very strong team.
Yeah.
And going to Worlds, I had identified Arabega 6 as the strongest team, and I had a great matchup into that team. So I really came to Worlds with like this mentality that I knew what was strong, and I knew how to beat what this strong team was. So I also had a great Kali Shadow balance matchup, for example, and a great matchup against most Kali Ice teams at the time. So I thought I had this really meta-breaking team, but I only finished 5-3. So I was like, maybe the team's just not that good. But then someone did really well with the team. So I was really happy to see that.
Still, yeah.
It's probably just unlucky.
At least at least the team build. Yeah, I think at least like I did something right,
Yeah.
And to be honest, like I got pretty unlucky at Worlds as well. So maybe in a different timeline, I could have made day 2 and maybe even top K.
Yeah, you were 5-0, I remember.
Maybe this year.
And then you lost the next 3. And like you said, if we played that day 1 again, there's every chance you could be, 6 6-2 or 7-0 or whatever however many rounds we played. Like, it just depends how things go.
One of my losses was to a Japanese player playing like the most anti-Miraidon team I ever seen. Actually, Lucas Ceribelli also lost to him. So I think Miraidon really wasn't supposed to beat this team.
Pairing into them was just unlucky. Yeah.
Like, look, you know what?
I also faced like. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say you've sold me on Iron Treads. My thought was like it's not fast enough, but then I'm like, hang on a minute, Miraidon can't Volt Switch out against it, and because it's immune and it can tank an attack, so theoretically it can just kill. It can just attack the Miraidon slot for free, right?
Yeah, and it's faster because of Quark Drive.
Yeah, Quark Drive.
Yes,
the terrain.
Are you sure you haven't already retired, Chris? Or
I mean, hang on. People are running like Scarf Miraidon now. I don't even know.
Okay, yeah. If it's Scarf, then they would be faster.
Okay, look, you've sold me. You've sold me on Iron. You've sold me on Iron Treads. I withdraw my complaint.
Like, look how many Iron Treads are in day 2. There's like quite a few.
The top 8 player, Adam, who had Volcarona, was that like a fully supportive one or was it a setup Volcarona? Can you give me that?
I can. I tell you right now, it was more than likely supportive, yeah.
Just like the Rage Powder.
Rocky Helmet, Will-O-Wisp, Tailwind.
Fishing for burns.
Yeah.
That's less exciting.
Because they're like, hey, Zamazenta.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Body press this.
It totally works. I totally get that. So what were you going to say, sorry, Gabriel, about, you were talking about your run at Worlds, I think, with...
He faced the anti-Miraidon Japanese player and like someone else, I think.
I faced this very anti-Miraidon team, and I also faced like a very hard team with like Iron Death, Damazenta, Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Whimsicott, like something that is not an Electabuzz.
Oh, that's like, so weird.
And Rillaboom, so it's like it's like not common at all, but it really it's good against my team. So yeah.
Do we think?
And then I lost to Eric Rios because I lost to Meteor, but that happens, it's right now. So
yeah. Damn.
Anything else exciting from Bologna to bring up, Dan?
There was an Overquill in day 2. I thought that was pretty cool.
With the Kyogre?
No.
Just a next bulkier
the whole team was Ho-Oh, Kali-Eye, Ursaluna, Rillaboom, Wellspring, and Overquill.
Overquill?
Yeah.
Jeez. What? It's got a cool design. You leave Overquill alone.
Nikita Stoller came top 64, 8-3, and it was a Black Sludge Intimidate Overquill.
Black Sludge?
With toxic spikes.
You know what? I actually forgot that item existed until like now. That's crazy. I haven't seen a Black Sludge in years.
Do you know why? Because the Kali-Eye is leftovers Leech Seed.
Oh, no, don't. No, I've got PTSD.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Actually, Gabriel, what is your thoughts on this whole bulky Leech Seed, Calyrex, Ice Rider leftovers trend that Michael DeBest?
I think it's like... I'm not sure what I think about it, because I think he only works if like no one respects it, you know. It's like it's a bad set, but it works because it's good against like it helps against Terrapagos, it helps against Zamazenta, it helps against like those lower restricted Pokemon like Lunala. So it works. It makes sense, but I think like if people start preparing for it, then it's just not good. Like because it's really easy to play around. Like it's weak to intimidate. It's weak to like substitute, for example. So like for example, Terrapagos, right? If you want to beat that, it's pretty easy. If you want to just run sub. So I think like in Pokemon we have this very interesting reality where the less people respect a strategy, the stronger it becomes.
Yeah.
I think Let's See Kali Ice is kind of like that. Like if no one is respecting, then it's going to be very strong. But like if people put on effort on beating this, then Clear Amulets is just better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are going to become more and more prepared for it. Like people knew about it when Michael DeBesta won with it. Like it was around mainly on ladder, but
it was around in like was that a Chinese or Singaporean?
One of the Asian Master Ball
they
leagues.
brought it
maybe.
to Melbourne.
Yeah,
I played against it.
Oh, I played against Bingjie. Yeah, and he had it.
Same.
Too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You did as well. We all lost to Bingjie.
I lost to it,
and he won the Hong Kong I think, is it the Hong Kong Basketball League last weekend with an updated version of that team. But yeah, like you said, like any strategy, it's good when less people are prepared for it, and that's just how the meta works in, I guess, any game, pretty much.
Final thing I'll touch on for Bologna, as this is a tradition of ours, Gabriel, because named after our podcast, the O2 Drop. You should all know that by now because you've got this far into the episode. We always give a shout out to the O2 droppers. So Dan, do we have any O2 drop at Bologna?
There was a few. We have Roberto Ferri.
Shout out.
We have, this is a Greek name, so I apologize. Ioannis Berekakis. They had a Cosmog, so also O2 drop. And we have a Filippo Petroli O2 drop. So shout out them, repping our name.
Anything? Would they run anything dumb just quickly?
Just the Cosmog was probably the dumbest one. The others actually had real teams.
Do people just go, you reckon, for like the playmat and the promo card? And
some dude had like metronome only move on a Prankster Grimmsnarl, I'm pretty sure, on the weekend.
Cooking.
So he just went there to gamble.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for coming on the podcast. We really, really, really appreciate it. It's just amazing to get such a big international name to come on the show. And I hope you had fun. Is there anyone or anything you want to shout out while you're here?
No. Just thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me, guys. I think like due to time zones, like it's really hard to keep contact with you guys.
11 hours difference.
I appreciate. I appreciate you guys being there. Late night.
No worries.
It was. I guess like follow me on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube or subscribe. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah. No. What is your handle, like username on YouTube or Twitter? Like, where can they find you?
It's just Gabriel Agati.
All right.
Easy.
Yeah. On Twitter it's like Agati Ga. So instead of Ga, Agati Ga.
Yep. All right.
And YouTube is just Gabriel Agati.
We'll link it for everyone in all of our many descriptions.
Yeah. We'll tag you in when we drop the episode. And I just want to say many people would have heard Moxie Boosted, aka Marco Perez, say that we are the second best podcast in the world. He said that on his X3 podcast. I just want to confirm for everyone listening that no, we are in fact the best podcast in the world. Yeah. Marco's was Moxie Boosted was unfortunately incorrect and got it wrong. We are the best podcast in the world. Yeah. And we just proved it because we just spoke to one of the world's best players on our podcast. So who did he have? Jody Azzarelli. Boring.
He has him every week.
Yeah, exactly. That's his regular partner. All right. So thank you. Anyone, either of you want to shout out?
I just want to say good luck at NAIC, Gabriel. And I can't wait to see you at Worlds this year.
Same, Alister. Same. Thanks, man.
And if you ever come to Australia again, hopefully if we ever get OCIC back, hopefully we will. We're pushing for it. Come to Australia. We'll buy you some drinks. We'll make you feel welcome. We'll take you out in the town.
Chris has a couch for you.
Well, yeah, if you come to Perth, free accommodation. There you go.
Yes. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Thanks, Gabriel. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming. And good luck at Worlds. We'll be rooting for you.
Thanks, guys. See you around.
If you liked what you heard tonight on this episode, please make sure to subscribe to the O2 Drop. We do have for $3 a month, you can subscribe and get all our bonus content episodes. We've got over 50 hours of bonus content you can listen to. But yeah, please tell your friends to listen to us, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, thank you very much for listening.